Happy Sunday. Happy first day of the week. I hope you're enjoying the last day of your weekend. Hopefully, your family is safe and healthy. You're safe and healthy, and everybody is enjoying what's left for the weekend. Um, Welcome to this edition of the Raw Hebrew Knicks content today, the live stream. Welcome, Sister Love Blue, Malik Shabazz. Shalom to you, Miss Edwards. Shalom to you, Miss Bernadette Lumley. Shalom to you. Good afternoon, Deshaun Wilson. Good afternoon to you. We are going to be looking into the coaching search, the continued coaching search, which we'll talk about it. But I believe they're leaning toward Taylor Jenkins, but we'll talk about that. We'll talk about the upcoming draft for the Knicks. We'll also talk about a little bit maybe of Summer League, but I'm going to probably save that for next week. We'll talk more about the Summer League. There's a lot of exciting prospects that the Knicks have coming into Summer League next week. And so it's going to be a big Summer League for a number of players. Summer League that could determine if they're going to remain on the Knicks or not, or in some cases determine if they're going to be in the Knicks rotation or not, or determine if they're going to even be in the NBA or not. So it's a big Summer League for a number of players this summer, and that's going to start, I think, in about less than 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, less than 2 weeks. So we'll be talking a little bit about that. Welcome, Felicia Lee, 1234 New York, Tony Tibbins, Clint Stewart, Severe Jorgensen, Superstar, my brother, Bostino, Earl Thomas. Welcome to all of you. We'll be going into that today as well. So I started my draft search and looking at the prospects for the Knicks. And there's a couple of things that people don't take into consideration. And it disappoints me because if you're a Knicks fan and you've been around watching the Knicks as a fan for at least 5 years, you should have an idea of how Leon Rose does business. If you don't, and this is what this causes me to lose respect for people that claim to be Knicks fans and listen to content that is false and don't understand it's false or why it's false, and then be negative based on false content. Okay, I get every once in a while, the Knicks blew this. They don't know how to do their coaching things. They didn't know what they were doing. And the only way you can come up with that is you got to be an idiot that's listening to other idiots. Because if you understand Leon Rose, there's no way you would come to the conclusion that he didn't know what he's doing. There's no way. Okay, he has proven over and over and over again, over 5 years. This is not like this first year. Over a 5-year period, he has proven over and over and over again that he knows what the hell he's doing. So for anybody anywhere to be speaking negatively about the Knicks, they don't know the Knicks, they don't know Leon Rose, and in many cases, they don't even know basketball. Okay? And so for people to be listening to these folks, it causes me to lose respect for some folks because I'm disappointed that you would even entertain some of the stuff that's being put out. It just makes no sense. Okay. And then to make immediate reactions in a negative manner on the Knicks front office after everything they've done. It just makes no sense to me. So again, let's just start from the top. Right now, the Knicks just finished the 2024-2025 season in the Eastern Conference Finals. In the beginning of the season, we thought that was their ceiling. And I was one of the few that thought that was their ceiling, the Eastern Conference Finals. That if the ball bounced their way a couple of things, they could go to the finals. But I thought their ceiling would be the Eastern Conference Finals. I was talking 55 wins in the Eastern Conference Finals. They did not get 55 wins, but they did make the Eastern Conference Finals. Okay. And to me, they reached their ceiling there. And you listen to some people and you would think the Knicks had a failed season. People are so negative on the season. People are spending more time being negative about Tom Thibodeau than they are actually looking at the season that the Knicks just had. And it was a great season. The Knicks had a great season. Okay. So they just finished in the Eastern Conference Finals. And they're not finished yet. Okay. And also, what a lot of people don't take into consideration, don't understand, and in many cases don't want to understand, is the power of continuity. The power of continuity. Continuity is keeping as much as your core team together for as long as you can. Because as the core team stays together and learn how to play together, they play better. They get more wins. Do we have any examples of this? Yes. The Boston Celtics, the Indiana Pacers, the Oklahoma City Thunder. All of those teams spent many seasons, multiple seasons together with their core pieces and had a lot of failures before they started having success. And yet, this team that we have for the Knicks really just started playing together this season, and people are being more negative than positive about the team. Making no sense. And then, now look, I know that there is a demand. Let's put it this way. We're talking about supply and demand. There is a demand for fantasy content. That's real. I don't indulge in it, but there is a demand. There are people that get off on fantasies. Cool. If that's you, cool. And there are content people out there on all levels that will give you the supply of fantasy that you want. Now, me, myself, because of where the Knicks are right now, I do not indulge or waste energy on fantasy at all. It's a waste of my brain power and time because there was a time 6-7 years ago when it was a fantasy to think of the Knicks as a long-term sustainable winning organization. It was a fantasy. It was a delusion. When Derek Fisher was the coach, when Phil Jackson was the president of basketball operations, when Fizdale was the coach, when Isaiah Thomas was president of basketball operations, it was fantasy to think of the Knicks as anything else but a laughingstock. Terrible scouting, terrible coaching, terrible development, no culture except who can we get to save the Knicks? That was the mantra. And unfortunately, a lot of us bought into it. That is not the case anymore. The Knicks are a winning organization. The Knicks have built a long-term sustainable winning culture. Teams in this position don't just throw crap at the wall and pick anything. They have to take their time and be diligent. And this is the next thing I wanted to talk about. Many of you need to understand this phrase, due diligence. Let me say that again. Many of you need to learn and understand this phrase, due diligence. What does that mean? How does it apply to the New York Knicks? Due diligence is the way that the Don has been doing business from the beginning. That means you take your time, you do thorough background on coaches, on players, and you end up putting everything in a crucible. And then at the end of your due diligence process, you have some names that you're interested in. Due diligence. The Knicks have been using that term, that process in their coaching search. And they are going to use that process in their selection of this year's newest rookies. Due diligence. Okay? Mike Miller, Organic Fanatic, Eddie Kerr, Stoic J, 123 New York. I think I got you already. Michael Drake. Welcome to all of you. Stoic J, please learn basketball. If you're only thinking of Josh Hart for his 33% from 3-point range, you have no the hell idea what you're talking about. Zero. You lose my respect. That is a stupid take. Let me ask you a question. Right now, players are getting paid $30 and $40 million per year. Sometimes, as in the case of a Karl Anthony Towns, they're getting paid over $50 million per year. And this idiot is going to talk about one of the highest energy players in the league and talk about his three-point shot at $20 million, which is below the average for guys for what he could do in his prime. How many games does Josh Hart have to win for us? In key rebounds, in steals? How many games does he have to win before some knucklehead doesn't mention, well, he just can't shoot the three? He can walk on water, but he can't swim. Oh, my God. Please stop. 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 So, part of the due diligence process, what the Knicks have shown us that they always operate on, is this year what they did is they reached out to coaches under contract first. And they didn't tamper by contacting the coaches directly right away. Let me explain something to you. The NBA works like this. The Don will not pick up the phone and call, let's say, Jason Kidd and say, are you interested in coaching for the Knicks? He doesn't do that. That's not how the game works. What happens is the Don has people that will reach out to the people representing Jason Kidd. And they will wonder, is your client possibly interested in coaching for the Knicks? Kendall Buchanan, thanks for the $2. Thank you for the blessings. So is your client interested in coaching for the Knicks? If they say possibly, they won't commit. They'll say possibly, as any smart person would do. Then the Knicks would say, okay, we will contact your organization about a permission to talk to your client. Now, let's say you're Jason Kidd. Okay? Let's say you're Jason Kidd. And you work for, and everybody, hopefully everybody here is gainfully employed. So you work for somebody. The ABCD company you work for. Your company sells widgets and you work for ABCD company. Now, EDF company has reached out to you. An HR representative from EDF company has reached out to you and said, we have a position open. Are you interested in talking to us about the position? Okay. You could say, what's the position? And they'll go through it and you might not be interested in it. You say, no, I'm not really interested. Or you could say, I might be. And what's the salary? Well, let's say you're making, I don't know, you're making $100,000 a year working for ABCD widget company. And they're saying our position is starting at $120,000. Are you interested? I might be. So now you go back to your boss and you say, you know, Um, there are people that do the position I do that are making $20,000 more than me. And if your boss says, well, blessings to you, man, go get your money, then you're gone. If your boss says, wait, what? You thinking about leaving? Well, I'm just saying that there are people that work in my position and do what I do and are making $20,000 more. Well, we can match that. Anybody would do that. Anybody would do that. So does that mean that the company that reached out is stupid because they reached out to you about a position and we're offering you $20,000 more? Is that stupid? Like everybody is calling the Knicks because they reached out to Jason Kidd and said, listen, we're interested in your services. So now Kidd goes back to Mark Cuban or whoever and says, I might be interested in coaching the Knicks, or Billy Donovan, or Ime Udoka, or Quinn Snyder. I might be interested in coaching the Knicks. And in the case of Udoka and Donovan and Kidd, they could say, listen. Hey, I think we got a good thing here. You sure you want to leave? I'll tell you what, we'll give you a little bit more money. Would that satisfy you? If you're Billy Donovan, it did, yes. Then you could turn around and say to the Knicks, you do not get permission to talk to my guy. But the Knicks just found that out that, okay, they're going to raise his salary and we can scratch him off. But that's part of the due diligence process. Okay? That's part of the process. If, for example, Dallas said, we're not going to give you a raise. You're under contract. You're going to stay here. Kid could have got real ugly and said, oh, no. You done traded away this guy, traded away that guy. I want out. Okay? That could have been a whole different conversation with any of them. But you won't know until you reach out. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you're talking about Quinn Snyder, Ime Udoka, Billy Donovan, or Jason Kidd, all of those guys are better than Johnny Bryant or any guy that doesn't have any NBA head coaching experience. All of them. So you couldn't lose. What does it cost you? A phone call. That's it. So how is that stupid? I don't understand. How does that mean the Knicks don't know what they're doing? I don't understand that. And I was getting some comment, the Knicks blew this. How did they blow it? I don't understand that. What kind of logic causes you to say they blew it based on what I just told you? So how due diligence works, my brethren, in Knicks Nation, is they get a list of guys that are under contract. And they say, let's reach out to these guys first, because if one of these guys pops, we got our guy. If it doesn't work out, they got another list of guys that's available that they like. Taylor Jenkins, right? And Mike Brown. Okay, if these guys don't work out, we could talk to these two. Then, it's not finished yet. You got a list of guys that really don't fit what you're looking for, but you might want to hear what they got to say anyway. Maybe you did background on them and you got positive feedback on your background. Do you understand? You got positive feedback on your background because you did thorough background on all of them. And so you might want to talk to a couple of other guys just for the sake of being thorough in your due diligence. Does anything I just said make sense to you? So when some idiot gets on and says, the Knicks don't know what they're doing, they're blowing it. Do you understand how stupid that sounds? Huh? I mean, and so that's why when I got people coming on my channel talking about the Knicks blew it, I understand you have no idea what you're talking about. You don't know nothing about the Don. You don't know nothing about the Knicks. Okay? You don't know nothing about the Knicks, because if you did, you wouldn't say that. You wouldn't say that. So Kevin Durant goes to Houston for Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, and a number 10 pick, and 5 second-round picks. I don't like the move for Houston. I don't like the move for Houston. I understand why they did it. They still got a lot of talent on their team, but I don't like the move. Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, the number 10 pick, you just gave up a lot right there. You just gave up a lot. And I'm going to tell you, in my view, Kevin Durant is not a winning basketball player. He's not a winning basketball player. Somebody said, well, he won a championship. Yep. He joined 3 Hall of Famers that had already set the NBA record for wins. And yes, he won a chip. Oh my, we are surprised at that. Now he's 37-year-old. You're going to have to pay him a ton of money. He probably is going to get an extension. And you're locked into this guy until he's like 40. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I wouldn't have did that. See, and this is what happens when you start getting into hype about players. Kevin Durant ain't won nothing since he won with Golden State. Okay, he ain't won nothing. Phoenix is in a very good position right now. Who is the coach of Phoenix right now? Who is their head coach? Because they're in a very good position right now. I'm gonna see who is the Phoenix head coach. Let me look at this here. Because they're in a good spot, man. They're in a very good position. Gordon, I don't know what kind of job this guy has done. I have not been paying attention to him, honestly, but he's in a good spot right now. That's the guy they just hired, right? Margaret Edwards. That's the guy that was him and Johnny Bryant were the last 2 candidates, and they chose. So we don't know. I don't know nothing about him. I don't know nothing about him, but they're in a good position. They just got the number 10 pick in this year's draft. Let me look at the mock draft. Who are they mocking at 10? Carter Bryant, 6'7", 6'8", gonna be 20 years old soon, out of Arizona. Carter Bryant. I'm just gonna look real quick. He looks like he could play a little defense. He's got almost a 7-foot wingspan, 6'11" and 3/4. I got to look at him more, but the template looks pretty good. I mean, 6'8", almost 7-foot wingspan, high defensive rating, 37% from 3. We'll see. Yeah, I mean, $2. Thanks for $2. Yeah, I don't like the deal for Houston. I understand why they did it. Well, Richard Baptiste, they're obviously going to extend it. They wouldn't have done the deal without understanding in place that Kevin Durant was going to sign an extension. So they're going to extend it. Yeah, they're going to extend it. Yeah, exactly, Ms. Edwards. And there were people that were already. Am I wrong when I said there were people encouraging the Knicks to go get Kevin Durant? Wasn't that the case? Wasn't that content creators talking about the Knicks should go get this done, or what? Am I making that up, or is that true? Yeah, but no, we're not interested. Yeah, that's Houston's problem. Now, I think Houston is going to be pretty good because Ime Udoka is a hell of a coach, and Houston has a very nice roster. I mean, they really do. They got, they got a very nice roster. They just traded 2 starters, but they got Kevin Durant, and that you got to bring ass to get ass. So they did that. They still got Fred VanVleet, Amen Thompson, Sengun, Jabari Smith, Tari Eason. They got some nice players, man. They got some nice guys. And they just gave up their draft capital, so they don't have that. But yeah, I don't like the deal. Kevin Durant ain't worth that to me. This ain't 27-year-old Kevin Durant. This is 37-year-old Kevin Durant. That's a whole different game, y'all. So I'm not saying he still can't ball. He probably can, but I'm not going to base my hopes on a title on him. Yeah, exactly. League sources. Yeah. Like NBA Central and other idiots like that. Yes, I do. Yeah, I do. Yeah, right. So, yeah. Um, well, Houston Brooks should have stayed longer in Houston, but uh, anyway, that's okay. So uh, hey, do you boo? What we say, my man Stephen Kelly? Do you boo? Do your thing. So anyway, that's done. Okay, breaking news. The breaking news I'm waiting for is who the Knicks are going to sign as the head coach. All this other crap don't mean nothing to me. I'm waiting to see who the Knicks going to be the next head coach, and I'm hoping it's Taylor Jenkins. I'm hoping it's him. You know, oh gosh, man! I started my college scouting. I started later this year than normal because this year the Knicks were really good and we were looking at possible finals, so I wasn't looking at college that much. But I started looking at college this weekend and I'm going to probably continue to do that. There's a couple of prospects. The thing about the Knicks with the college draft, couple things we should understand. They're not going to make a first round pick. They're not going to trade up to make a first round pick. Okay, let's get that out the way, right? The Knicks are not. I was surprised they chose Daddy. I was surprised they chose Daddy, but he was 19. He was actually 18, and so that made a lot of sense. Daddy is a draft and stash type of kid, somebody that has a lot of upside that you can groom, and so yes, but they got to pay him first round money. But I was surprised they made that pick, but this year they're not making a first round pick. They're not going to do it unless there's somebody they really, really like. And I think though they make a second round pick. Now, with second round picks, you can purchase. You literally NBA teams can purchase second round picks from other teams. Now, the higher in the second round, the more difficult it is to make such a purchase, right? It becomes a little bit more expensive, but the Knicks could buy a second round pick. So anybody that's liable to be in the second round, now every year, every single year, there are guys that were expected to be drafted in the first round that fall to the second, and there are guys that were expected to be drafted in the second round that rise to the first. That happens every year, every single year, and it's going to happen this year. But at this point, I'm still doing a lot of due diligence. But I do like Drake Powell, I do Thero, and I can't say this kid's name. He's from Serbia. Bogo Job Markovic. I like all three of these kids so far, looking in the second round. All of them have nice upside. All of them are well-rounded ball players. All of them could fit the Knicks culture. And yeah, so I like all three of these. L says he's curious about how Mobb Deep is going to evolve because it ain't the same without the young blood going for the kill and dominating opponents' rotations. Well, you'd have to first analyze who are Mobb Deep, right? We have to first, before we decide how they're going to evolve, we have to know who they are. Correct? L, is that right? So you must know who they are before you decide how they're going to evolve. So who are the definite Mobb Deep players? At this point, I think we can safely assume Deuce is one, unless he's a starter. And that's the thing. We don't really know what the new head coach is going to do. We don't even know. It appeared, did y'all read where Precious was more positive about coming back to New York? Did y'all see that? I saw that this week. Did y'all see that? That Precious Achiuwa was more positive about coming back to New York because of the absence of Tom Thibodeau. So we'll see. But it depends on who's here. So let's surmise the possibilities. Let's assume first, if Mitchell Robinson starts at the 5, then you're going to have Karl Anthony Towns start at the 4. We understand this, right? I want to make sure we're all on the same page here. So if Mitchell Robinson starts at the 5, then you will have Karl Anthony Towns starting at the 4. Let's make a couple of assumptions based on this. This is how we'll build this out. You ready? So let's assume the new coach is going to play 10 guys, not 11 guys, not 12 guys. He's going to play 10 guys. Okay? Everybody got that so far? Are we good? So let's make our hypothesis based on the new Knick coach is going to play 10 guys. And let's make the first part of this hypothesis, you're starting Mitchell Robinson at 5, and you're starting Karl Anthony Towns at 4. That means you're going to have Mitchell Robinson, Karl Anthony Towns, OG Anunoby, Mikal Bridges, and Jalen Brunson. That's your starting 5. Okay, let's go over that again. So you got Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, Mitchell Robinson, and Karl Anthony Towns. That's your starting 5. Now, with that starting 5, you're going to have a backup 5. There he is, Ariel Hukporti, your backup 5. You're going to have a backup 4. Let's assume we're going to get Precious back. There he is, Precious. You're going to have a utility guy, that's your Swiss Army knife, Hart, and then you're going to have Deuce. So that's 4. And then you can choose between Landry Shamet, who probably would get the nod, or DeLon Wright. So let's go with the 5 of this. The Landry Shamet, Deuce McBride, Josh Hart, Precious Achiuwa, and Ariel Hukporti. Now you have 10. Now, with this second unit, let me go over that again. Y'all ready for the second unit? Let's look at that. So based on Mitchell Robinson starting and Taylor Jenkins being the coach, and you're going to play 10. So now you're talking about your second unit being Ariel Hukporti, Precious Achiuwa, Josh Hart, Deuce McBride, Landry Shamet. Everybody got that so far? Everybody got that? I want to say it again because Yuri obviously didn't hear it. So let's say it one more time. If Mitchell Robinson starts at the 5, your second unit could be Ariel Hukporti, Precious Achiuwa, Josh Hart, Deuce McBride, Landry Shamet. Everybody got that so far? I want to make sure we're all on the same page. Don't let me go through this and then act like you didn't hear me, okay? Y'all ready? That's your second 5. What do y'all think about your second unit? Somebody asked, how is it going to evolve? Well, what do you think about it? Can that second unit play defense? Can that second unit play defense? Can they play defense? Let's go over it again. You're talking about Ariel Hukporti, Precious Achiuwa, Deuce McBride, Josh Hart, Landry Shamet. I think that's an excellent defensive unit. Excellent defensive unit. Okay, very good defensive unit. That's the first stop. That's the first thing we need to know. Can they play defense? Yes. In fact, I would even argue that that might be better defensively than the first unit. And the first unit is going to be pretty damn good, right? I mean, you're talking about starting Mitchell Robinson and you got OG and you got the bookends, on the wing stop. You look, but I think the second unit might even be better defensively, right? So you got that's a solid defensive unit. You got shooting in Landry Shamet and Deuce McBride. You got shooting in Landry Shamet and Deuce McBride. You got rebounding in all those cats, but especially Hukporti, Precious, Hart. You got rebounding. So you got shooting, you got rebounding, you got defense. I think I answered the question when somebody asked, how would they evolve? There you go. I think they'll be pretty damn good. What y'all think? I think that'd be a pretty damn good second unit. And if you know every day, every game, all of them cats are getting at least 15 minutes. So if that's the case, we in pretty good shape, man. We in pretty good shape is what I'm saying. So that's a good second unit. Check this out. That's without adding anybody. No trades. Look at that. No trades. And that's what we got. Okay, no trades. Now, during the course of the season, one of the things I like about Taylor Jenkins is that during the course of any NBA season, we're always saying the NBA season is an 82-game grind, which most people don't even think about it. But you really need to think about it. It's a real 82-game grind. What does that mean? That means, if you get your main players, let's call it our starting 5. If our starting 5 can play at least 72 games, that's a successful season. as far as health, successful, which means you expect each of your starting 5 to miss 10 games. Okay? So if you could get 72 games out of Jalen Brunson, OG, McCall, Mitch Rob, and Cat, you're really got a good situation, right? Which means that as those guys miss 10 games each during the course of a season, that's when you'll see guys like DeLon Wright, Marjon Beauchamp, right? And anybody else that could break the rotation, that could play good enough to say, okay, I could fill in as a third stringer for one of those guys. Y'all got me? So you got, I could tell you right now, Marjon Beauchamp is going to be one of them. Then you're going to have, of course, you're going to have possibly Kolick, depending on how his defense progresses. And then, of course, you got a solid one if you bring back DeLon Wright. So you got a solid bench that you can depend on. And if you got Kolick, you got Wright. I personally don't think McCullough is going to be an NBA player for long. I'm not buying into him. I'm not a big guy to buy stock in Kevin McCullough. I'm just not. But he's got a chance. He's got a chance depending on his summer league, right? And of course, Coach Hauser is right. You got Daddy A too. So you got Daddy A, to me, Beauchamp, Daddy A, possibly Kolick. We'll see how he develops. And then, of course, you got DeLon Wright. You got all of these guys available, and then there's the guy Inaji, right? We don't know how we have no idea how Inaji's going to play, right? We have no idea. People are already trying to pencil him into the rotation. Don't know. This happens every year. Don't even know. Just looking at his height and everything. Oh, he got to definitely get rotated. No, we don't know if he could play. The same guys that are drooling over a guy that's not an NBA player, and Mike Brown, Moses Brown. He's not even an NBA player. Oh, why can't we bring Moses Brown? Because he sucks. Because he's not good enough. Anyway, we still have possibilities. And those guys would get time under a Taylor Jenkins, even under a Mike Brown, because Mike Brown plays 10. In fact, for those of you offensive guys, you would like Mike Brown because he's a really good offensive coach. He's picked up a lot in the Golden State system. He's really good. He sucks as a defensive coach, though. And a lot of y'all are going to be calling for him to get fired the minute you start seeing the Knicks give up 130 points a night, which he will do. Okay? But under Taylor Jenkins, you're going to get 10 guys. You're going to get a consistent 10 guys. And when guys are hurt, guys like Daddy, guys like Kolick, guys like Wright, guys like Beauchamp, they're going to get opportunities to play during the course of the season to give them some minutes. And of course, they'll all be getting G League as well, right? So that's how you're going to develop your young people. So I like that. That's without any trades. Okay, that's without any trades. So now let's talk about players. Some guy came on my channel and said, Nick, we need a 4. When somebody comes on my channel and says we need, and they say a position, we need a 4, or we need a 5, or we need a point guard. What really, in my experience on this channel from doing this, is they have a player they want, and they want to make an excuse why we need to go get him. So when the guy says we need a 4, that means they have a 4 that they want the Knicks to get. Okay, and they are making the justification for go getting that player because we need that position. Look, there is no specific position the Knicks need. We just come out of the Eastern Conference Finals. There is no specific position that the Knicks need. So when you're in this position, what are you looking for? You're looking for a good basketball player. Period. Any position, a good basketball player. A guy that can play in the NBA, and preferably a guy that can be developed. Like in this situation, you're looking for a guy like a Daddy, somebody that's 19 that you can develop over the next 3 years and bring into your culture that fits your culture. Good kid, plays with a high IQ, wants to get better and will work hard to do it. That's what you want. Okay? There's no specific position. Lewis Luck, thanks for the buy. Mark says if Bridges signs in the early extension, Knicks would be $30 million under the second apron. If true, Brunson set them up nice. Yeah, he did. Brunson definitely helped the Knicks. There's no doubt about that. Because you know why? Brunson wants to win. Listen. Okay. The difference between 150 million and 200 million is 50 million. That's a lot of freaking money, right? But damn, you are set up for 10 generations with 150 million. So you got to weigh, okay, I'll take the 150 if it can help us get more players so that we can win more chips. That's what a guy like, that's why I like Brunson. He is smart, man. He can ball and he is smart as hell. Does he make mistakes on the court? Yes, he does, but everybody does. But damn, he is smart as hell, man. He's smart. They're smart. They're going. Okay. Love that guy. Smart. Okay. That's right. I think they need is to stop with the triple. That's right. Thanks for the 2 hours. But yeah, they just need good basketball players. So for me, and if you guys know me, you know what I'm looking for. I'm looking for motor and defense. If they can shoot, that's even better. But give me motor and defense. And then let me get somebody, this one guy that said we need a four suggested this kid named Eric Dixon. Now, I looked at Eric Dixon. He's the first guy I looked at. So let me look at this guy. I said, oh, my God, no. Oh, my God, no. Eric Dixon is going to be 25 years old in his rookie year. Not 23, not 22, not 24. He's going to be 25 in his rookie year. Now, he comes out of a good college system at Villanova or Duke or no, Villanova, yeah. But I looked at him. He's not an NBA player. He might be a G League player. Okay. He might be, but he's not an NBA player. And I was like, hell no. Hell no. I told the guy, please don't quit your day job and try to be a scout. Don't do it. But like I said, I looked at Drake Powell. I looked at Adu Thero. I looked at this Markonovich. These guys look like really good prospects. And that's like, I didn't even go through all of the possibilities in the second round. There's a lot of possibilities there. Okay. So these guys can all ball, in my view. And so we're going to look at that. Powell, in the case of Powell, Thero, and Markovich, they all have 7-foot wingspans. See, length, you remember when David Fisdale said, I got a crush on length. I was disappointed in him because length don't mean you could ball. It just means you got long arms. Length means something if you could ball and play defense, like OG Anunoby can. That's where length matters. Or you can cover ground, like Mitchell Robinson can. That's where your length matters. If you get lost on defense and don't know where the hell you are, your lengths don't mean anything. Like it means nothing. Okay? So, but these guys can play defense and they got length. Only thing I don't know about Markovich, which I haven't seen yet, is does he have a motor and is he injury prone? I don't know. He comes from good stock. I mean, Serbia has been giving us some really good players in the NBA, right? Serbia has, and so he comes from good basketball ground. I don't know anything about his motor. I've seen some highlights, but they only show great highlights. I want to see his motor. I don't know how injury prone he is. Thero got a motor, and Thero can play defense. So can Drake Powell. And Drake Powell comes out of the North Carolina program with Hubert Davis, who seems to be doing all right at North Carolina. So there's some programs that have produced some players. Like one of these cats, Thero comes out of Arkansas. I don't know who the coach is at Arkansas, but that guy could coach. Because Anthony Black come out of Arkansas. There's another couple of guys that have come out of Arkansas that can ball. When I start seeing guys come out of the same school, same system, like Florida State, and they could all ball, I say, who's that coach? Because they got a program down there, right? Florida State, now Hamilton's no longer there, but you look at the pedigree, okay, and they got it going on. So whoever's coaching at Arkansas knows what the hell he's doing. So he bringing out some ball players. So I like this Thero dude. If they, he's slated to go in the second round. Let me see the mock draft. They got Thero listed at 33 to the Hornets. And he would help the Hornets a lot. They got Powell at 32 to the Celtics. I like those two kids, man. Let's see what happens. I don't know. Oh, is it Calipari? Well, he knows what the hell he's doing. He done brought the Kentucky vibe down to Arkansas because they're going to he bringing out some ball players, man. There's no doubt about it. I don't know what he do when he talk to them, but he get them to come to his program and he know how to get them ready. Darrow's a ball player. I like him. Inaji, I hope I'm saying his name right. I'm going to reserve my judgment until after the summer league. I think he's got promise. He's got promise. I like his promise. His numbers look good as far as wingspan. He's 7'7" wingspan. His numbers look good. Of course, he could dunk. You know, who's not 7 feet and can't dunk? So he could do that. He looks decent on defense. We got to see. See, this is the thing, y'all, for myself. You can know if I like a guy if he's a big guy like a Najee and he covers ground. That's the thing that made me excited when the Knicks drafted Mitchell Robinson. He could cover ground. See, in the NBA today, it's not how strong you are, it's how quickly you can cover ground. That's why they have that, you know, that shuttle thing that timing shuttle that they do in the camp before the NBA camp, before the draft, the pre-draft camp, because you want to know how quickly a guy can cover ground, especially a big guy. Because if a big guy can cover ground, what that tells you, looking at Mitchell Robinson, he can help and get back. He can double and get back and still protect the rim. That is worth its weight in gold in today's NBA. That's worth its weight in gold in today's NBA. Okay. Very few players today have a legitimate post game. Very few. And the ones that do stand out, like the Joker. The Joker's post game is amazing, right? Embiid, when he can play, he's got a tremendous post game. But not everybody has that. Most of these big guys don't have the post game. So don't expect them to have what most guys don't have. But can they cover ground? Can they see what the defense is doing and react to it? Hoop Party can do that. He has already shown that. Mitch Robinson can do that. In Najee, I'm not sure yet. I'm not saying he can't. I'm just saying I don't know. I looked at all the highlights. They show all his dunks and his blocks. Okay, great. But I want to see in a game, can he cover ground? That's what I want to see. That's why I'm going to reserve my judgment until we watch the summer league. Okay? And I'm not looking at stats. Everybody looks at stats. I'm looking at stats. I want to see with him, does he cover ground? Does he show double and get back? Is he disruptive on defense, right? Is he disruptive? Does he blow up the other team's offensive set because of his length, because of his speed, his quickness? Does he blow up the set? Does he blow up their play and make them start over again because he done read it? That's what we want to see. I want to see. I don't know. I don't know if he does or not. I looked at the highlights, but I'm still not sure. I ain't seen enough to know. That's what I'm saying. I'm not 100% sure. I don't know he can't do it, but we'll see. I'll tell you what, if he can, now you're talking about Hoop Party, and Najee, and Mitch Rob. If he can. We'll see, though. You know, it's exciting. We'll see. And the thing is that you have to also understand about the dollar. He ain't going to pay no premium for nobody. Y'all understand that, right? So none of these guys, you got to have talent and you got to come reasonably priced, if not cheap, because he ain't going to overpay for nobody. He ain't going to do it. Okay. So, yeah. So let's see how this Inaji guy plays in the summer. We know what Hoop Party could do. The question about Hoop Party is, can he stay healthy? What did he injure? Was it his Achilles that caused him to slip so far in the draft? It was his Achilles, right? He hurt his Achilles, and that's what caused him to slip in the draft. So his Achilles got better, and he was healed, but then he messed up his meniscus. Meniscus was this year, Andrew Abraham. It wasn't last summer. Last summer, when he was drafted 55th or whatever, is because he had hurt his Achilles before that. This meniscus was the latest injury, right? So we got to know, can this kid actually play without getting hurt? Is he a nice backup center, or is he Anthony Ambulance? We don't know. You know what I'm saying? We don't know. I tell you what, if he plays in summer league, and gets hurt, it's a risk. You see what I'm saying? Yep, we do. Got the best medical staff, but we got to see what he does. Let's put it this way. I am convinced he's got talent to play at a high level in the NBA at the 5. I got this, right? I am convinced that Ariel Hooparty can play at a high level at the 5 position in the NBA. Got the motor, got the quickness, got the length. I am convinced that he could do that. I am not convinced he's available. Yeah, I'm not convinced he's available. We got to find out. Is availability a problem for him? I don't know. I really don't know. We're going to find out. Okay. Is availability a problem? But I tell you what, if Inaji works out and you got Mitch Robb, and this is what you would have then. You would have Mitch Robb, Hooparty, and Inaji. Those are your official centers, right? But you still got Karl-Anthony Towns, and if you keep Precious, you still got him. You got 5 guys that can fill in that center. That's a tremendous, depth at that position. Tremendous depth. Michael Drake, can you answer me this? I don't want to hear about how good he shoots from 3. Can he play defense? Does he have a motor? How old is he? See, I don't want to. Don't get so every year. Why do y'all get caught up in the flash pan of, oh God, he can shoot? Okay, great. Can he play defense? Is he 100 years old? Is he available? I need to know these things. Mala Flocka's 3-point shot. Really? Oh my God, he's 24? What's his name? Kobe Bryant is 24. Wait a minute. Let me. He's 24. He's looking at. They got him slated here. He's a 23. No, he's 23. They got him slated. He's 23 years old. So he's going to be 24 in November, though. So yes, whoever said that. So he is got a. Oh my God, no. He's got a 6'5" wingspan and he's 6'7". His defensive rating is a high weakness. No. Drake Powell, Guilford McCormick. I mentioned Drake Powell, Adu Thero. Drake Powell is out of North Carolina. Adu Thero is out of Calipari's program there in Arkansas. And Bogo Job Markovic is out of Serbia. I like all 3 of these guys. No, Michael Drake. He's 22.6. He'll be 23 in November. He'll be 23 in November. He's 6'7" with a 6'5.25" wingspan. He got short arms. His weaknesses are his defensive rating. Yes, he shoots 43.5 from 3. But what the hell's worth that if he can't even get on the floor because he's a traffic cone on defense? No defense, no bueno. No defense, no bueno. No defense, no bueno. Nope. Yeah, Powell. I like Powell. I like Drake Powell. 6'7", 7-foot wingspan, high level defense, nice playmaker. And what I like about him coming out of North Carolina with Hubert Davis, he seems to know how to play the right way. I know that's a statement of, cliche, but there is a thing that's playing the right way. Drake Powell plays the right way. And the thing is, I think he's only 20 years old, if I'm not mistaken. The kid's only 20. So he's got upside. He's 20 years old. He's got upside, man. I like him. I like Thero, I think Thero is 21. Let me just make sure I look at it right. Yep, he's 21. I like Thero. I like, but they may not be there. These are the type of guys I'm finding in the second round, but you know how this goes, man. They might move up. Somebody might see the value and move them up. I hate that. It happens to me all the time. I'm looking at guys, and the guys I like end up getting picked higher than I'm looking at in Tankathon. But Yeah. Can they shoot? Let me see. Drake Powell is a 38% shooter from three in college. Thero is not a great shooter. Let me see. He shoots 26% from three in college. He's not a great shooter. Thero. But I don't place as much emphasis on that as other people. I don't. Can they play defense? Do they got a motor? Will they be available? We'll figure the rest out. We'll figure the rest out. Yeah, Trey Murphy. I liked him coming out of Virginia, and I said, man, and he moved up. He moved up and got picked way higher. I liked the Nigerian kid. What was his name? Coming out of Auburn, he got picked fourth. There's no way I didn't think he was worth pick fourth. He got picked fourth, and then there was Williams from Florida State. He got picked like in the top 5, and I was like top 6. I was like, no, not that high, but yeah, I like Powell. If the Knicks can buy a second round pick and move up a little bit, I think I would actually even entertain trading Kolek to get Powell. I would do that. I would trade Kolek and the second round pick plus cash and try to get Powell. I really like him. I like that kid. Yeah, Pat Will. I wouldn't have picked him that high, man. I thought Pat Will was a good pick around the teens, but not 8th or 4th or whatever he was picked. Bills overshot for him in my view. But I like Drake Powell. There's value there at that pick in the second round. There's value. That's what you're looking for. You're not going to have to pay him $1 gazillion. You got value. I would trade Kolek with some money in the second round pick and go get Powell if I could get him. I really would. Abraham asked, who is he like? That's a good question. There's nobody that jumps out at me with his name on it. Like there's this kid, and he's also coming out of Duke. I don't think the Knicks should draft him, but I looked at him. His name is Zion James. He's 23. He's 6'6", 218, nice body. He reminds me a lot of Justice Winslow. Nice body, strong body, 23 years old. I think he might be able to make a solid pro, plays the right way, knows how to play basketball. The thing about Justice Winslow is Winslow had the same thing, and he was always hurt. The guy was never, he was in the Anthony Ambulance School as a distinguished professor because the guy was never available. Justice Winslow, but and Pat Riley picked him, Yeah. And Winslow, to me, just never fulfilled his promise. He had promise, he just never fulfilled it. No, I didn't say he was a good passer. I said he's a good playmaker. That's the difference. He's a playmaker. He can play make from the wing position. He plays defense, both on ball and off ball. 7-foot wingspan, and he knows how to play the right way. I don't know if he's a great passer, but he's a playmaker. Yeah. I like Powell. I haven't looked at everybody yet, but so far, like I said, Powell, Thero, and Markovich, I like all 3 of these kids, and I don't know if you get any of them, we'll be in good shape. You mean Jay Will? Man, that's hard to say. Jay Will's an all-star, man. I don't know. I don't like comparing second-round picks to all-stars, man. Jay Will's an all-NBA guy, man. I don't know. But if he ends up being that way, that'd be tremendous, right? But he's good enough he's an NBA player. Put it that way. First thing I want to see is he an NBA player? Everybody was drooling over Moses Brown, and I never thought of him as an NBA player. I never thought of the guy that came out of Wisconsin that the Wizards picked. I wasn't sure he was an NBA player. I still am not. I'm not high on McCullough. I don't know if he's an NBA player. I'm talking about NBA player. Like, can you play in the league? Johnny Davis. I wasn't high on Johnny Davis. Great college player. I wasn't sure if he was an NBA player. And I'm still not. And then, so we'll see. But some guys I know can play in the NBA. Drake Powell can play in the NBA. Thero can play in the NBA. Markovich can play in the NBA. These are NBA players, okay? We'll see about other guys like Inaji. We're going to find out if he can play in the NBA. We'll see. Yes, I did say that, but I don't know if he's going to. I don't know. If OKC wants to keep J-Dub is from Arkansas, he would probably stay there. But yes, I do love J Dub. And I said also, if you want to finish that thought, if they lose Precious, I said if we lose Precious, I would love to get J Dub. I did say that. So, but um, no, Kolek can't back up Brunson. Miss Edwards, you said the same thing last summer. I thought you would have learned your lesson by now. Kolek can't back up no Brunson. No, he can't. But I think he could get some minutes under Taylor Jenkins this year. He can get some minutes. But no, I wouldn't call him a rotation piece. I take Precious. He's from New York. He's already played for the Knicks. He's already shown what he could do. I'm going to favor the Knick over a guy that's not a Knick. I know most fans would favor somebody on the other side because they always think the grass is greener on the other side. I favor our guys. Precious is from Queens. He's a Mets fan. He's already showed us what he could do. I'm going to favor Precious. Every day. All the time. Precious is one of the fellas. He's a fan. I hope we can keep him. Okay. But Precious and J Dub are very similar ball players. J Dub is a little bit bigger than Precious. Yeah, Beef Stew's not available. I would love Beef Stew. That's that, please, but not available. So there's that, right? So Beef Stew's under contract in Detroit, and they ain't letting him go, and I don't blame him. He's gonna be a guy they're gonna keep. Yeah. Jay Will, right? Jay Will. J Dub is the starter. Jay Will is the guy coming off the bench. Yeah. Oh, is that right? Yeah, right. That's right. Chris Howard. That's right. Jay Will is the guy coming off the bench. Yeah. But I like Precious. I'll take Precious first. Yeah. Precious is the guy I want. Yeah. Oh, I don't know, Andrew Abraham. This is a hell of a series, though, to go to the 7th game. I think you have to favor OKC because they're playing in Oklahoma City, and that's a tough place to play. That's a tough place to play. So I don't know. We'll see. Rokas said he's out or something. Yeah, I did see that interview where he said that. But he got to do what's best for Rokas, right? If we don't get Rokas, we're gonna still be all right. I don't know, Webb. I don't even know if they have rights to him. I think last year was the last year they had rights to him. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think last year was the last year they could keep his rights. I think his rights. I think he's a free agent. Shalom, brother Lonnie. Same to you and sister. Please give her my regards. I hope her knee is feeling better. Yeah, I'd like to see. I prefer Indiana because I want to see Obi get a chip. That's me too. I want to see Obi get you. Much as I can't stand Halliburton, I love Obi more than I hate Halliburton. I'd rather see Obi get his chip, man. I want to see Obi get this money, get this chip, man. Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I think the Knicks are pretty stacked. We were just talking about what we thought would be if Mitchell Robinson started, what we thought would be the second unit. And I think we came to the conclusion that the Knicks are pretty stacked right now. Didn't we? Is that correct? Those of you that were here, right? I mean, if Mitchell Robinson starts, our bench unit, if they keep Precious, is pretty stacked. Our bench unit is pretty stacked, right? So even if you say, let's start Deuce and not start Mitchell Robinson, let's say you started Deuce, okay? And you didn't start Mitchell Robinson. Okay, you start Deuce. I wouldn't do that. But if you did, you'd have Mitchell Robinson, Precious Achiuwa, Hoop Party would be shifted back, and you still have Josh Hart, and you still have Shaman, and you still have room for another guy, Bullcamp, to come in. You know, so I like iHeart too. But if I gotta pick iHeart and Obi, I'm rolling with Obi. I just like Obi better. Okay. You're asking me, I favor Obi first. So I would want Obi to win. I want Obi to get this chip. No, it's not disorder, Joe White. It's called you're a basketball fan and two teams are playing and you want one to win. It's got nothing to do with the Knicks. The Knicks are not here, right? So we got to look at what's playing. Well, Pettit, that's part of Josh Hart's game. Even if Precious stays, that's not going to change how Hart plays. He's still going to do the same thing. He does that. He does that. So that's him. So it's not like, I don't think it's a function of having Precious that's going to stop him from doing that. But he's going to do it. He's going to cheat off his man anyway. He does that. Okay. But yeah, I think Najee was part of the cat trade. I think they got rights to him as part of the cat trade. Yeah. Yeah. So I think that's what we can expect. So yeah, I'm hoping now. Someone asked, I was hoping the Knicks would make their coaching hire before the draft. There was an article that said they may not get it done till after the draft. I'm hoping that's incorrect. I'd like to see them get this over with before the draft. I really feel like they're leaning toward Taylor Jenkins for all the reasons all of us understand. But I do know they're going to want to talk to a couple of other guys. I don't even know who else they would talk to out of due diligence. Yeah, Najee's going to play in the summer league. He's already in New York, from what I read. He's already working out, getting ready for summer league. So he's here, and he wants to play in the summer league. Yeah, he's going to be playing summer league. Yeah, yeah, he's in. So he's going to play. We're going to see him and all our youngins in less than 2 weeks. I think the summer league starts the week of the 4th of July. Isn't that correct? I think it does. Let me see. NBA summer league. I think it starts. Oh no, it starts at the July 10th through 20th. So it starts July 10th through 20th. So I think that's probably 3 or 4 weeks away. So yeah, it's July 10th through 20th. Yeah. Yeah, so we'll see. But anyway, who is Hugo Besson? Is he in the mock draft at all? Let me see. Hugo Besson. Who is this kid? Let me see. Hugo Besson. It's like saying Hugo Besson. I don't know, man. I don't see his name listed in the top 60 here, so I don't know who he is. You know who would be interesting? I'm not suggesting the Knicks pick him, but Andrew Nemhart's brother is coming out this year. He's shorter. He's 6 feet, maybe 6'1". He's a point guard. Yeah, he's coming out this year too. Andrew Nemhart's brother. He's older. He's an older kid also, maybe too old, but he's coming out. Thing I like about him is that, Gonzaga knows how to teach basketball, and yeah, he's 22. He's a solid player, but we'll see. Do I think passing on Ryan Dunn? I think you're talking about Ryan Dunn, right, Dio? Was a mistake. I don't think it matters, honestly. I'm not one to focus on what I believe Knick mistakes are, like a lot of people do. I don't give a crap. To me, let's move on. They didn't pick him, we move on. I hope he has a nice career in Phoenix. No, again, there's a problem with starting Precious at the 4. His name is Karl-Anthony Towns. Maybe you heard of him. Karl-Anthony Towns. Well, Webb, I don't know. I was just saying, I think the Knicks I would think Taylor Jenkins is number 1 on their coaching board right now. They're not out of the Jason Kidd game yet. And I think this next couple of days, they're going to make sure they kick that tire thoroughly and make sure they're not in the Jason Kidd sweepstakes. I think that's number 1. And then They may have, I heard from what Begley said, they may have a couple more interview guys come in. That's part of their due diligence. So, but I think Taylor Jenkins is the guy. I don't know if he's the guy before draft night or not. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, let the Don cook. So we'll see. I don't know. Yeah. I think Taylor Jenkins is the guy, but whether they're going to make the announcement before the draft or after, I had thought before they would. Because if you're not going to get one of those coaches they reached out to that's already under contract, to me, Taylor Jenkins was the guy that's available. That's the best guy. But they're going to take their time because that's what they do. The Knicks are going to take their time. They're not going to rush. They're going to take their time and get the guy they want. So, and make sure he's the guy. And so that's the thing, because they're going to commit money to whoever. They're going to commit money and years to that guy. So I think Taylor Jenkins would be good. I was listening to KOT. I listened to a segment of KOT, and the guy was saying that he heard some things that he didn't want to say because he didn't want to hurt Taylor Jenkins' chances of getting the Knick job. It sounded like those things might be negative, but I actually was excited about that. The guy that coaches the Knicks must be tough. He's got to be a tough, hard-nosed, thick-skinned guy. Can't have no softies coaching the Knicks. And he's got to have a way he likes to play, and everybody that don't like it could go to hell. He got to have a guy like that. I don't like all of y'all suggesting, well, he needs to listen to. No, he don't. He needs to do what he think is best and run his damn team. And the hell if anybody like it. I think Taylor Jenkins is that guy. I like that. Okay, I like that. I think I want to see that. If that's the case, that's my kind of guy. Tough guy, stand up, no nonsense, don't want to hear nothing from you. He's going to do the way he wants to do it, period, and let's get it done. Yeah, all of those guys, but those guys are under contract. See, so, yeah, but we're talking about a guy that's not under contract. Dio says the realistic, perfect, ideal offseason. Mine would be boring because it's not fantasy. I'm just going to warn you. I'm not going to be looking for no pie-in-the-sky trades to do. Keep the same team. Hopefully, you get something to pop from one of the youngins. Inaji, Kolick, Porty, McCollar, and Beauchamp. Hopefully, you get something to pop so there's something you can maybe bring into their 10-man rotation. I'm looking for that. And then nobody gets hurt. Everybody's healthy. And you come back with the same team, all healthy, ready to go in September. That would be my ideal summer. Karl Anthony Towns comes into camp with his knee, ready to go. Looks like I saw some highlights already. Looks like Brunson's already ready to go. He's healthy. And then Hart comes in ready to go and healthy. And so I think the East, to me, your top teams are going to be the Knicks, the Celtics, the Cavaliers, and the Pacers. Not in any order, but that's going to be your top team. Yeah, those are your top teams in the East. You're going to have a surprise team. I don't know who it's going to be, but there's going to be somebody that's going to be a surprise team. Milwaukee will be competitive, but Milwaukee messed up by overreaching when they let Jrue Holiday go. They should have never done that. That was a dumb move. Dame Dollar made them go down a couple of notches. As great as Dame Dollar is, he's not the same guy from 5 years ago, and you just lost an all-NBA defender and a ball player in Jrue Holiday. He goes to Boston, and they win another championship. He won one in Milwaukee. He won one in Boston. So Milwaukee, I don't think is going to be able to. I really admire and I like that Giannis wants to stick with the Bucks. Do that. I always thought he would. He's that type of character guy. So he's going to stick with the Bucks and let them try to build around him. But I don't see them going anywhere. Philly ain't going nowhere. Forget Philly. Detroit is coming up. Orlando is coming up. Those are your surprise teams. Orlando, Detroit. They both have to avoid injury. The only thing that messed Orlando up this year was injuries. Wendell Carter was hurt. Paolo Banchero was hurt. Franz Wagner was hurt. Mo Wagner was hurt. Suggs was hurt. They got a lot of bad injuries that messed them up this year. But I'm thinking if they come back healthy, Orlando's going to be right there. It's going to be Orlando, Detroit, New York, Boston, Cleveland, Indiana. Okay. And so they're going to be your teams. The team that can stay the healthiest is the team that will be in the top echelon. That's really what's going to come down to. Okay. The team that could stay the healthiest is the team that's going to be in your top echelon. Okay. Orlando's going to be tough, no doubt. Desmond Bain, they rolled the dice specifically to make a next move forward, and they did with Desmond Bain. So I like the move for them. I like the move for both teams. I like the move for Memphis as well. I like that move for them too. And all of this talk about Jaren Jackson Jr. coming to the Knicks, will people stop smoking crack? I thought the crack epidemic was over in New York. People have stopped smoking crack. They started smoking it again with that. What the hell? It's like, what are you, crazy? Oh my God. And where do they get this from? Is it because they traded Bain that you're thinking they're going to take these two young kids that they developed and signed a big contract and just blow it up? That's stupid. Oh my gosh. It's like, what the hell? Anyway, I like the move for Memphis. Memphis made. They get the picks. They get two nice pieces in Kate Caldwell Pope and Cole Anthony, and Cole Anthony's coming with a chip on his shoulder, and I always like that kid. He could ball. He's another one. He's going to come out the ball this year. I think he's probably going to start. I'll be surprised. Maybe depends on how the coach feels about Caldwell Pope, but I'd rather start Cole Anthony and play next to John Morant. Those guys are going to ball. They're going to ball, and injuries again. The only thing that could stop them, injuries. So we'll see. Houston's not going to be as good as people think. They're putting too much emphasis on Kevin Durant, in my view. And they just lost the edge. Y'all talk about, we lost the edge when we let DiVincenzo go. Well, guess what Houston just did in letting Dillon Brooks go? They lost their edge. They really did. You're going to have Dillon Brooks playing beside Devin Booker. You can have Dillon Brooks playing beside Devin Booker, and they're going to have Jalen Green, who's just started coming into his own last year. I think Phoenix is going to be good. I still like what's his name? Odumu, Oso Udugo, or whatever. I like him coming out of Marquette. Older guy, solid ball player, winning ball player. I like him. And of course, they still got Ryan Dunn, who learned a lot in his rookie year. Iguodala, I liked him last year. And they got some solid pieces. They need a 5. Phoenix needs a 5. Trading away on DeAndre Ayton was a bad move. Letting him go was a bad move. They need a 5. And that's why they were pushing to try to get Gobert. But Minnesota ain't stupid, But no. Yeah, I think Phoenix did fleece them. I'm going to go with what you said, Dio. I think so. I think Houston got the bad part of the deal. John Pettit, they're not trading. The only way you would trade John Morant is if he got arrested again. If he becomes such a problem off the court that he's a distraction, then yes, you might trade him. I don't think he will. I think Ja fits Memphis. He really does. He fits Memphis, and I think he's going to do good. And a guy that talented, I don't know. I think I keep him. I keep Ja. Okay, I keep Ja. Okay, I think so. I keep Ja, and I keep Triple J, and we move on from there. I think they'll be good. If they could get some of their guys to stay healthy, shoot, that's their problem. The kid from Gonzaga, I like him. They got this kid from Gonzaga. He's a really solid ball player. Not a superstar, but definitely solid ball player. If they could keep it, but the boy had been hurt for the last 3 years. He's been hurt all the time. What's the boy name? I like his game, though. He plays really smart basketball. He stays within himself. He plays great defense. What's that boy's name, man? Daggone, let me find him. Did they trade him already? What's his name? Daggone. Of course, BSPN don't even list him. Let me see here. What's that boy name? He come out of Gonzaga. Brandon Clark. Yes, Brandon Clark. I like Brandon Clark. If he could stay healthy. Nick Richards really never had a health issue, as far as I know. He's pretty solid, right? I like Brandon Clark, but he's always hurt, man. If he could stay in the game when he's healthy, they do good. He's one of them guys that's a bellwether. When he's healthy and he's able to play, he comes off the bench, he's really good. And then they got Nick Richards too. So yeah. Yes, above the rim says Boston has to make moves because of the salary. Right? Right. They're paying $500 million between their two forwards. $500 million. Well, you know what though? I think it's worth it because they won a chip, right? They got a championship. They didn't put another banner up at the Boston Garden. So, hey, pay. You know, they had to bring ass to get it. They got it. You know, right? So, oh, and you, Dio, come on, man. You quoting BSPN? You can't believe what they're saying, right? You can't believe BSPN, man. Come on, baby. It's like believe in CNN. You can't believe them cats. Come on, man. That's BSPN for a reason. Mm-mm. The thing about Memphis, right? I know, right? The thing about Memphis, though, right? If you one of these cats that like to hang out in strip clubs all night, yes, it's going to be dangerous. But you ain't supposed to be doing that if you're trying to win, right? You ain't supposed to be doing it. So if you want to hang out in strip clubs and get lap dances all night, yeah, it's dangerous in Memphis. Big time. But you shouldn't be trying to do that. You know what I'm saying? Because guys that make the kind of money these cats make, there's no need for them to do that. They can have parties in their own mansions, their own gated mansions. They can bring all the whatever they want. Okay. Yeah. Well, I was saying Brown for McCall, but I like McCall, so I'm not doing it. I like McCall. Brown is something else, but I like McCall. Not only that, Brown has a chronic knee injury. Y'all know that? Like chronic means he's going to have trouble with it for the rest of his career. He can still play at a high level, but he's got a chronic knee injury. I want McCall. I want my 82 game guy who's now going to be even better because he's not going to play 40 minutes a night. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm with McCall. I'm going to keep McCall. The road runner. That's right. The Coyotes after him. I like McCall, man. I'm keeping McCall Bridges. Yeah, right. I'm keeping the road runner, man. I'm keeping the road runner. I ain't messing around. Yeah. But Brown has a chronic knee injury. He's got to have like a scope. He had a scope on it already. He'll be ready for training camp, but I don't think that's something that's going to go away. Some guys he'll play with it, obviously, but and he's going to play at a high level. He might even be all NBA still, but that's a lot of money to be having somebody with a chronic knee injury. We already got dealing with somebody that may have one in Cat. I don't even know. So we'll see. But Cat's not a guy built on athleticism as much as Brown is. Brown's game is predicated on athleticism, right? So if he loses that, it's like Ja Morant. If Ja Morant lost his athleticism, yeah, ball game, right? That's it. Some guys like Jalen Brunson, their game is not based on athleticism. Okay. So you're not as worried about a knee injury for Jalen Brunson as you would be about a Ja Morant or Brown, right? Jalen Brown. But if the game is based on athleticism and you lose some of that athleticism, you're going to lose some effectiveness, really. That's right. Availability. So I'm keeping McCall Bridges. Even though I mentioned it, I am keeping McCall Bridges. Nah. Fleeting thought that I let flee. Fleeting thought that I let flee. Yeah. So, John Pettit, I don't talk fantasy. I don't waste time on it. Sorry. We got a long-term sustainable winning organization. No need to indulge in fantasy right now. No need to indulge in fantasy. I don't see if it was 10 years ago, Pettit, you would have me in the fantasy world because we don't have nothing. But that ain't our situation no more. We good. So no, there's no need for me to indulge in fantasy, So Yeah, yeah. Pacers gonna be back. They're a nice team, solid team, played together, continuity. They're gonna be back, and they're gonna get Isaiah Jackson back next year as well. So they're gonna be tough again. Pacers are gonna be tough. The Knicks, the Pacers, the Celtics. Although I have to be honest, I don't see the Celtics being as good next year. I don't. For them to hit the level they hit in the championship year, they need a healthy Kristaps Porzingis. Okay, they need a healthy Kristaps Porzingis. So um, I don't know. I don't want to speculate about what Bridges is looking for. Nobody knows Dio really. He's gonna get paid though. It don't matter. He's gonna get paid, and the Don ain't gonna get fleeced. So Bridges is gonna get paid. There's no doubt. Okay. Yeah. To me, the cat knee situation is a chronic situation, but I don't think it's chronic enough to slow him down enough for us to be worried about. He's big. Cat's game is predicated on physicality. Am I right, y'all? Y'all in agreement with me? Cat's game is not predicated on quickness or athletic. His game is predicated on physicality. He's a physical player. Okay, so I'm not worried about the knee as much with him. Um, as long as he could play, no matter even if it's sore every year, I'm not as worried about it with him. His game is not based on athleticism; it's based on physicality. He's a physical guy, and so yeah. And I think this current roster is so talented and stacked. I think any coach would be drooling to take this Knicks roster, man. You got to really, you're not starting from scratch with these guys. You got guys that can ball on your team. Okay. Well, nice. The fortunate thing for us and you is that you don't make that decision. They're gonna sign McCall Bridges. I'm gonna tell you that right now. They're gonna sign McCall Bridges. He's coming back. I don't know what he's gonna get. To me, McCall Bridges is worth about 150 million. So yeah, I agree with you. He's worth the Jalen Brunson contract. I don't know what he's going to get. He could get somebody's talking about OG. I'd still sign him for the OG money. I'm not letting him walk. I'm keeping Mikal Bridges. I don't care. He's not going to get more than OG. So let's put it this way. Let's say his ceiling is $215 million over 5 years. I'm signing him. I'm keeping him. Okay. I'm not letting him walk. I think I can get him for less. Okay. And I'm going to try. If I'm the Don, I'm going to try to get him for less. But I am not letting him walk. I'm keeping him. He's going to be much. He was good this year in spite of all the crap people were talking about him. He's going to be even better next year with a 10-man rotation. So I'm keeping him. He's a championship piece. I've been saying that before we even got him. I was telling y'all that Mikal Bridges is a championship piece. We keeping him. So Manuel, you better be right, because if you're not, you're going to have a problem. AJ Semenyo just came in here and let off the stinkiest gas I think I smelled in a minute. Don't come in here with this breaking crap and we don't know what's going on, man. Don't do it. Don't do it. And don't do it in here. That's stink. Don't do it. Breaking my ass, man. Yeah. Anyway, breaking my ass. Breaking. Break this. Oh my gosh, man. Uh, there's always a dumbass. Like I said, the Knicks Nation body has all the body parts. It's got brains, it's got heart, it's got ears, and it also has anal cavities. And they show themselves with how bad they smell. Ugh. I agree with you, Andrew Abraham. I agree with you. But I want to give them a warning first. That's what I did. And I think I gave him fair warning. Don't you think so, Andrew Abram? I think I gave him fair warning. Right? I think I did. Breaking. Oh, my God. The only guy that should use breaking is Shams. Nobody else should. Dio is picking up on the break. Oh gosh, man. But yeah, to answer your question, Dio, my ideal scenario, everybody comes back to camp in September healthy. One or two of these rookies pop. Or not rookies, because they're not all rookies. Youngins. One or two of these youngins pop. Okay. If we could, and honestly, I would trade Tyler Kolek. I wouldn't trade Hupori, but I would trade Tyler Kolek and try to get Drake Powell. I would do it. I would do that. How many of y'all would do that? Let's do a poll. And you may not even know who Drake Powell is, so don't worry about it. But would you trade Kolek and a second rounder for Drake Powell? Let's start. Let's see. I would do it. I would not even. It wouldn't. I wouldn't have to give that a second thought. That'd be done, unless Powell is hurt, But I wouldn't even give that a second thought. Thanks for your service, Mr. Kolek. Welcome aboard, Mr. Powell. That's what I would do. Yeah. Good, smart move, Coach Hauser. I like that answer. He says, I got to do some research. That's right. Don't make a decision unless you do some research. I like that. Very good. Very good. Very good. Yeah, you have to do your own research, but I've looked at Drake Powell. I like him a lot. Like him a lot in the second round. Yeah. Kolek ain't going to play. Some of y'all still ain't getting it. You beating your heads up against the wall. Deuce is going to play before Kolek at the point. Deuce is going to play before him at the point. He's not a point guard. I don't care. He's not going to play in front of Deuce. 100%. No. He's not. Okay. I don't care if you think Deuce is a point guard or not. He is not playing behind Kolek. It ain't going to happen. Okay. No. Yeah, Kolek is Stockton, right? What am I? Yeah. And the problem I have, Dio, is that Stockton was all NBA defense multiple times. And Kolek can't guard a traffic cone. If you put a rope around his waist and tied the traffic cone to his waist, he still couldn't guard it. The problem I have with him. I said a 10-man rotation over an 82-game season. I think Kolek will get some minutes, but y'all talking about playing behind Brunson. That's a whole. Do you understand the difference between, okay, you're the 12th guy, Brunson misses a game for sprained ankle, and you move up into the second unit? I can see that, but you're talking about playing behind Brunson as if Deuce McBride is, are you crazy? You must be crazy. This is the same thing. We had this conversation a year ago. When everyone was like, this guy Kolek, oh my God, he's going to be in the rotation. And I was telling y'all, he's not going to play. I was trying to tell you, he's going to play in the G League. I trade him for Drake Powell. Some of y'all, I want y'all, please, Coach Hauser, look up Drake Powell. Tell me what you think. Look at his defensive highlights, his offensive highlights. I look at all of that. First thing I do when I go to look at a player on YouTube, I say, so-and-so player defensive highlights. That's the first thing I want to see. I don't want to see him shoot. I don't want to see him dunk. I don't care about it. I want to see defensive highlights. You know what happened? There was this guy, Eric. What was that fool's name from Duke again? Hold on. What was his name? Eric, what's his name? Where is this guy? What is it? 40-something. Dang, I can't even find him. Eric Dixon. So I looked up defensive highlights and nobody had any. That's what you know. He ain't even got defensive highlights. And his offensive highlights wasn't all that. So that's when I already know, okay, forget this kid. He's already over the hill. He's got no defense, and he's not even really NBA level offensively. So what are we talking about? Oh, God. He got a little jump shot, yes, but he would never get it off in the NBA. Oh, man. Right. So I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. So, but I want to tell you, this is a very big summer league for Tyler Kolek. It's going to be a big summer league. He's got to get a chance to show if he's developed. I'm expecting to see some more shoulder and arm muscle, a little bit toughness there. Let's get something, see what happens, man. Yeah, so let's see. This is going to be a big summer league for Tyler Kolek. It really is. McCullough too. Big summer league for both of those cats. We're going to see what happens, man. They're gonna have to see, can they play? We're going to see. Well, all right, nice 718 says, and I'm assuming you're talking about Tyler Kolek. So he's going to kill in the summer league. Okay, wait. Let's create a couple of litmus tests, okay? When Emmanuel Quickly played his first summer league, he averaged over 20 points a game. When Deuce McBride played in his first summer league, he averaged over 20 points a game. When Deuce McBride played and started in the G League, he averaged almost 30 points a game. So, will Kolek average 20 a game in the summer league? Because we know he's going to get the minutes. He's going to get minutes. Can he average 20 in the summer league? That's just offensively. I don't think we had any question about the defense of Deuce in the summer league. Will Kolek able to play defense in the summer league? We will see. To say he's going to dominate, I want to see 20 points a game. Efficient 20 points a game. If he could do that, then I'll agree with you. We'll see. Because he's going to get the minutes to prove he could do that. We're going to see. Okay? We'll see. We'll see. Oh, that's not true. Andrew Abraham. IQ played great defensive rookie. Why do you think Tibbs played him? He only could play with Tibbs if he plays defense. And he played defense. He got even better over the course of his time here, but IQ came into the league playing defense. Okay, he did. He had the little run-handed floater offensively, and he played good defense, and he played solid. Yeah, so, yeah, don't say that because he could play defense coming into the league. You'll take 15 and 10 from Kolek? Well, he's going to get a chance to show you in July 10th. He's going to get a chance to show you. Yeah. Kolek, IQ had all of that. Long wingspan, quick feet, great motor, really. High IQ, he had all that. Well, to start Deuce, see, you got to understand, no matter what, when the Knicks get ready to sign Mikal Bridges, and he's going to get money, minimum $150 million. So he gets the 150 on one side. You got OG at 215. These guys are starting, both of them, period, end of story. So you're starting them too. So now you got to tell me, and you know, Karl-Anthony Towns is getting paid almost $60 million. He is starting at the 5. So if you start Deuce, you could, but I like starting Mitch Rob better, but we'll see. We'll see. I mean, I can understand the starting lineup you're mentioning, Mr. Liberty King, but I like the starter of Mitch Rob at the 5 with Cat at the 4 better, but I'm not going to argue with you. I mean, if you think, we'll see. We'll see what Mr. Jenkins decides, right? We'll see. Okay, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. Now, I remember when IQ came out, he came out with Maxey. Both those cats can play defense at Kentucky. Maxey was better. I liked Maxey better from the start. I thought the Knicks were going to pick him because he was available, but they didn't. I thought Maxey was better. Maxey's defense at Kentucky was elite, and I knew he was going to be good, man. And I liked IQ too, but I thought IQ was a step below Maxey, and I still think so, you know. But anyway, is what it is. Oh, a lot of y'all say y'all keeping Kolek. 56% of y'all say to keep in Kolick. We got rooks to develop. Hoop Porty, Beauchamp, we got youngins to develop. Inaji, we got youngins to develop. It ain't like we don't got any, so we could keep Kolick or not. I mean, I hear you, but he ain't like we got to keep him to developing. We don't, but I like Hoop Porty, Beauchamp, um, Dadier. Those are the guys we got to develop. Kolick, if he develop, he does. If he don't, he don't. We'll see. We're about to find out in about 3 weeks. We're gonna find out. Okay. Mr. Liberty King. Minnesota is not calling, so let's not even talk about that. Again, I don't indulge in fantasy. Minnesota is not calling, so I'm not worrying about that. That's not a hypothetical I would even take seriously. It's fantasy. Right. Yeah. We'll see. We're going to see how Mr. Jenkins feels about these things. I think Pacome Dadier has a ceiling that we can't measure yet, which means it's very good. He definitely has upside. He definitely can be a high-level player. I don't want to say what his ceiling is because I don't want to place one on him. I think we're not seeing even the scratching of the surface of Pacome Dadier yet. Really, we're not. We're not even seeing the scratching of the surface yet. So he's only 20 years old right now. So let's let the kid develop a little bit. But I will say a 10-man rotation, the minutes in that 10-man rotation will be a battle between Dadier and Marchand Beauchamp. I will tell you that. I will say that. Okay. So that is going to be the battle. Those two guys. So we'll see. Yeah, I do, Coach House. I think Jenkins is our guy. The only way Jenkins is not our guy is if Jason Kidd decides that he wants out of Dallas. That's the only way I see it. But Dadier can become a good 3-and-D wing. He can become better than good. We don't even know. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't want to set any ceiling on him. Dadier is definitely an NBA player. So if that's what we're talking about, yes, he could play in the NBA. Pacome Dadier is an NBA player. How high can he go? I don't know. But I do know he has upside on every area of the game. He has defensive ability, athletic ability, IQ ability, shooting ability. He has all of that. How high can he go? I don't know. I like his game, though. I do like Pacome Dadier. But I knew when they drafted him, it was going to take some time. And so and he's got a good motor too. Yeah, I like Pacome Dadier. Listen, getting developed under Tom Thibodeau was good for him. Toughness, defense, motor. He got all that under Tom Thibodeau. And so I'm liking what I see from him. If Jenkins comes in here, you might see him get rotation minutes. I would not be surprised at that. If Dadier got rotation minutes, I wouldn't be surprised at that at all. Okay. But yeah, he's got a battle with Beauchamp. Beauchamp's a little bit more solid in terms of defense, a little bit more ready with NBA experience, a little bit more hungrier because he's been in the league already. So we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. But I like Dadier a lot, So that's what I'm saying. I don't know where he's going to be because I can't tell you what his ceiling is. See, I could look at Kevin McCullough and I could tell you there's not much upside left. I could see that. I could see there's not much upside left with him. Okay. Dadier has way more upside. He's got way more room to go. He can get better. How much? I don't know. We'll find out. Okay. We're going to find out. Okay. I like Dadier though. Hoop Porty could be a very solid guy at the 5. Very solid guy at the 5. I like him too. So we'll see. We'll see. What I like about Hoop Porty is he's got a chance to be another Mitchell Robinson. He does. He's got a chance to be another Mitchell Robinson in terms of offensive rebounding and rim protection. He really does. So if we can get Mitchell Robinson again, I'm doing that. So um, I said earlier, I don't know if the Knicks are going to pick. I would like to see the Knicks pick their coach before the draft, but I can't guarantee what they will do. I think Taylor Jenkins is the guy, but we'll find out. That's all I can tell you. I'm not in there, I'm not part of their decision makers, so I can't say, but I do like the idea of having a coach in place when it's time to draft a guy. So, yeah, so we'll see. Um, yeah, nobody knows, but so we'll see. We'll see. Free agency videos, I will do them if there's somebody I think the Knicks should look at and that's available. Like I did when I said they should call Minnesota about Karl Anthony Towns, and I said they should contact Toronto about OG Anunoby for IQ and RJ. And I said we could save a spot for Mikal Bridges. When I see that stuff, I'll say something. But if I'm not just going to throw a fantasy out there because I want to see it like a lot of people do for clickbait. I'm not doing that, But as far as free agency, to me, the free agents, I'd rather keep DeLon Wright and Landry Shamet than look at Luke Kennard. The only reason I might look at Luke Kennard is if we have Taylor Jenkins as the coach, because Luke Kennard played under Taylor Jenkins. And if Taylor Jenkins says, I'd rather have Luke Kennard than DeLon Wright, okay, then we do that. But if in the absence of that, I'm going to bring back Wright, I want to bring back Shamet, and we go from there. Because one thing, Luke Kennard's a great shooter, but so is Landry Shamet. Luke Kennard is going to cost more than Landry Shamet, and Landry Shamet is a better defender than Luke Kennard. These things I know. Now, so I'm hoping that we get, we get those two guys. The free agencies I want is those guys. I want those guys back. I want DeLon Wright back. I want Shamet back, and I want Precious Achiuwa back. If I can get those guys, I'm not looking for no pie in the sky guy that never played for the Knicks. Luke Kennard would be a guy, like I said, if Taylor Jenkins is the head coach and Taylor Jenkins says, I want Luke Kennard because he knows Luke Kennard, okay, I can understand that. Okay, no problem. But we'll see. Yeah, the clickbait fantasy about DiVincenzo is amazing. It is amazing. I will say that. It is amazing. Like I said, there's a market for fantasy. I'm telling you, people love fantasy, and there's a group out there of people that will meet the demand for the market of fantasy. Okay. There's people out there that will meet the demand. So for the fantasy market, there's fantasy out there. I'm past fantasy right now. I'm in real. I'm in now and real because the Knicks are now and real. Which role players was I interested in last summer? That's a good question. Actually, I wanted them to bring back the same team last summer. I did not think they were going to make a deal for Cat. I wanted them to bring back Juju and DiVincenzo last summer. So I was surprised when that deal came through, though I understood it. As far as free agency last year, I just wanted to bring back Precious last year. I think that's it. I wanted to bring back Precious. I was disappointed in Tom Thibodeau's handling of Precious Achiuwa. I was disappointed, especially when Precious balled out when everybody was hurt the year before. Precious balled out when everybody was hurt. I was disappointed in how he handled Precious. I really was. So last year, I was just looking for Precious to come in and have a big year. Yeah, so now I'm just looking for Precious to come back and have a big year again. I'm looking for Precious to come back. I really am hoping Precious come back. Yeah. So as far as DiVincenzo, you have to understand, Knicks Nation, why would Minnesota want to lose Dante DiVincenzo? Who on the Knicks would entice them enough to trade Dante DiVincenzo? I don't see anybody. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Why? You have to ask yourself these questions. Why would Minnesota trade Dante DiVincenzo? Who on the Knicks do they want bad enough to give up Dante DiVincenzo? I don't see anybody. I don't see anybody. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Right. And people don't ask that question. They always talk about go get this and go get that. Like you can go to the store and get a loaf of bread without even asking a legitimate question. Why? Why would they do that? Yeah. I don't see them making any trades either. Continuity is important. And so I think they bring back their team. I like Shamet, especially if he comes back healthy. That was a freak. Would y'all think? I think that was a freak shoulder injury he got last year. That's not something you can expect to happen to him all the time. So he comes and he stays healthy. I think we get a big year out of Shamet off the bench, shooting wise. He's always going to play defense, but I think we're going to get a big year shooting wise out of him this year. So I like that. Shaquan, there's questions you should ask yourself. NBA players want to play. If you get Shamet and Kennard, they're both not going to play. Somebody's going to sit. Kennard would not want to come to New York to sit. And Landry Shamet is not going to stay here to sit. So you can't just stack the team. We're already stacked. We have trouble. We just did an exercise where we named 10 guys, and it's stacked. You can't have both. Let's not be delusional. You cannot. Okay? So, yeah. I think Shamet coming back would be big for us. Would do. I like that. I like that a lot. I'd like them to just keep Shamet and Deuce and go forward. Yeah. I like Shamet on both sides of the ball. Devo is better. He's a better ball player. There's no doubt. More athletic, can play defense, plays the passing lanes, can shoot. Big time clutch player. We all know DiVincenzo was a clutch ball player. But we'll see. This is going to be interesting. So I do like Shamet to return. If you're asking me who I want to see come back, Precious, Shamet, right. I'd like to see all three of them come back. All three of them. I'd like to see all three of them come back. So we'll see. We'll see how this works out. All right, my brothers and sisters in Knicks Nation. I like Shamet. I like the signing. I like Shamet. I like the shining of Shamet. I liked his shooting. I liked him better than Bodega 44. I liked him better than Bodega 44. Yeah. I got you, John Penn. Yeah, I ain't that guy. Like I said, I ain't the fantasy guy. I'm the guy that wants to see the Knicks win 60 games. I want to see the Knicks win 60 games. That, to me, that's the top part. Can we win 60 this year? Can we do that? I'll take 58. Can we win 58? That's what I'm saying. Okay. Can we win 58? Bring in Taylor Jenkins. Let him take his revenge on the league, and let's win 58 games this year, man. Shoot. Yep. And Najee in Summer League. Let's see what we got. No, McConnell ain't leaving Indiana. There's no freaking way he leaves Indiana. He made a career in Indiana. McConnell's not available. He's not coming nowhere. He's going to stay right there. He's going to stay right there with Carlisle. He's going to stay right there in Indiana, finish his career there if he can, unless they decide they don't want him no more. But TJ McConnell's an Indiana Pacer for life. Yeah. I hope you're right, Levy. I like Jenkins, man. I want him, man. Bring that country boy from Dallas in here, boy. Let's get it going on. Let's grind, baby. That's all I'm saying. Is Dice Yoshimoto still the Knicks in the Knicks? I liked him as a summer league coach. I hope he comes back. Dice Yoshimoto is usually a Tibbs guy, but I like him as our summer league coach. I hope Dice comes back. Yeah, exactly, John Pettit. Can we win 58 games? I want to see that. Yeah, even if he don't, though, Coach Hauser, he's in the finals. He ain't going nowhere. He wants to finish his career in Indiana. He's a legend in Indiana. You know, he's earned it, man. Yeah, he ain't going nowhere. We talking about TJ McConnell for. Plus, whose spot he going to take? Shaman? I don't want TJ. I don't want TJ. I want Shaman. I want DeLon Wright. I want Deuce. I'm not trying to get rid of my guys. These are our guys. These guys were orange and blue. Stop dissing your own guys. We don't need TJ McConnell. Malaflaka TJ McConnell. Yeah, Meta got to take his meds. Or y'all know Meta start bugging. Yeah, we good. That's right, Dio. We good. We good. Just bring back everybody healthy. Re-sign our guys. Listen, to me, I'm going to tell y'all right now, I am going to celebrate with a nice glass of wine if we re-sign Precious Achua. I'll be very happy about that. If we re-sign Precious Achua, I'm going to be ecstatic, period. I'm telling you, I'm going to be celebrating. See, so I ain't worried about anybody else. Can we re-sign Precious? I'll be happy with that. And let me tell you something. If we do re-sign Precious, I'm not guaranteed, but I'm saying if we do re-sign Precious, you want to talk about a guy coming into camp with a chip on his shoulder? Shit, man. Come on, Pete. Come on back to New York, boy. How could you not like Precious? He's a Mets fan. Mets fan, man. Let's go, Precious. Come on back, bruh. Yeah, bring back the crew, man. Let's do our thing. Let's do our thing, man. So anyway, Knicks Nation, brothers and sisters, Knicks Nation. It was always fun. And I didn't have to use my AK. You know what I'm saying? What does my man say? I didn't even have to use my AK. No third rail today. It was a good day. No third rail today. Didn't have to use my AK. I gotta say, it was a good day. Yeah, it was a good day. All right. So, brethren, be safe out there. No, you good, Andrew Abraham. I know you good. You good, bro. Don't worry. I got you, Andrew Abraham. I got you, A squared. Got you. Oh, Stephen A. Stupid. He's a clown. Y'all know he's a clown. Stephen A. Stupid is the highest paid clown in circus history. Y'all got to think of him like that. He is the highest paid clown in circus history. He is. For $10 million a year, hey, let me cut my hair back and he make my forehead bigger and give me $10 million a year. I'll be stupid too. There you go, man. Well, I think we got the orange version of Stephen A. Stupid already as president, right? Right? We got the orange version of Stephen A. Stupid in the White House right now. So I think we're good. So we got a brown clown, Stephen A. Stupid, and we got an orange one already. So we got two clowns. So we got one clown that's the highest paid clown in the history of the circus, and we got the other clown that's the most powerful clown in the history of the circus. Right? Am I right about that? One of them is the most powerful clown any circus has ever had. The other one is the highest paid clown of any circus we've ever seen. He is headquarters. Nah, man. I got the Jamaican head. And my man Lester Holt, he's headquarters. Stephen A., he's that African American headquarters. Bless the Hope got the Jamaican coconut. That's my cousin coconut right there. Ah. Yeah, right, Andrew. Hey, listen, if they would agree, I would agree. Yes, let's agree on a contract. I would take much less than Tom Thibodeau. Much less. And a shorter deal. Give me a 2-year deal, 5 million. Good to go, baby. Good to go. Good to go. Stephen A. Jamaican? Hell, is he? He got the head for it, but is he? I was surprised at that. Oh man. Y'all are crazy. I'm getting ready to go. I'm gonna meet with the brothers and we're gonna have some lunch or dinner or whatever in about 2 hours. But I gotta get ready. You're crazy. Please be safe. Enjoy yourselves out here today. Be safe. uh, yeah, Cuban something. We're doing Cuban something today. We're doing some Cuban stuff. Brothers wanted Cuban. My man's birthday tomorrow, so we're gonna do some Cuban stuff today. I never been to this place. I'm probably gonna order a steak, but we'll see what happens, man. Y'all enjoy your Sunday, the rest of your weekend. Be safe out there. Sure.